long term. And part of being pragmatic means taking good ideas from wherever they come. Listen, you all know my career. Andrea shared it with you. I am a devout public servant. I also know is be a strong supporter of workers and unions. And I also believe we need to engage those who create most of the jobs in America. Look, I'm a capitalist. I believe in free and fair markets. I believe in consistent and transparent rules of the road to create a stable business environment. And I know the power of American innovation. I've been working with entrepreneurs and business owners my whole career.
Yeah.
And I believe companies need to
She's a genius.
Respect the rights of workers and unions and abide by fair competition.
Who trusts this woman? Anybody? Does anybody trust this woman? I think I would get thrown in jail within a year if this woman's in office, and my businesses would go to shit. It's unbelievable. Anybody would trust this person.
Look at my record in California.
Sorry about the volume, guys.
On the big banks for predatory lending.
Let's see. How do I
taking on big healthcare companies for conspiring to jack up prices. Taking on a big for-profit college for scamming veterans and students. At the same time, I believe that most companies are working hard to do the right thing by their customers and the employees who depend on them. And we must work with them to grow our economy. I believe an active partnership between government and the private sector is one of the most effective ways to fully unlock economic opportunity. And that is what I will do when I am president. I will target the major barriers to opportunity and remove them. We will identify common sense solutions to help Americans buy a home, start a business, and build wealth. And we will adopt them. So let's start then with the first pillar of an opportunity economy, which is lowering costs. So I made that our top priority for obvious reasons, because if we want the middle class to be the growth engine of our economy, we need to restore basic economic security for middle-class families. To that end, the most practical thing we can do right now is to cut taxes for middle-class families and individuals. And that's what we will do. Under my plan, more than 100 million Americans will get a middle-class tax break. That includes $6,000 for new parents during the first year of their child's life. To help families.
Yeah. How the hell is he a capitalist, huh? She a capitalist.
We'll also cut the cost of child care and elder care. And finally, give all working people access to paid leave, which will help everyone caring for children, caring for aging parents, and that family generation is caring for both. So I have a personal experience with caregiving. I remember being there for my mother when she was diagnosed with cancer, cooking meals for her, taking her to her appointments, just trying to make her comfortable, figuring out which clothes were soft enough that they wouldn't irritate her, and telling her stories to try and make her laugh. I know caregiving is about dignity.
How did this lady end up in this position? I mean,
and when we lower the cost and ease
it's
the burdens
actually
people face,
hard to
we will
imagine.
not only make it then easier for them to meet their obligations as caregivers, we will also make it more possible for them to go to work and pursue their economic aspirations. And when that happens, our economy as a whole grows stronger. Now, middle-class tax cuts are just the start of my plan. We will also go after the biggest drivers of cost for the middle class and work to bring them down. And one of those, some would argue one of the biggest,
How's it sound now, guys?
cost of housing.
Give me a heads up.
So here's what we will do. We will cut
ETH2021 says she can't hear.
from being built and take on, in addition,
That's it.
corporate landlords who are hiking rental prices.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. Yeah, I had a mistake.
With builders and developers.
We will. She's a multiple personality. Notice how often she used the word we.
Increasing the housing supply.
We is in multiple characters with no character.
We will also help first-time home buyers.
Come on, it's not low volume now, is it?
Foot in the door.
Oh,
with the $25,000 down payment assistance.
Wow. Just give you 25 G's, dude. Smack.
Because the goal is clear. Let's help more Americans afford to buy a home, which we know is a critical step in their ability to grow their wealth and intergenerational wealth. And we will work to reduce other big costs for middle-class families. We will take on bad actors who exploit emergencies and drive up grocery prices by enacting the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging. I had the experience of dealing with that when I was Attorney General. We will take on big pharma and cap the cost of prescription drugs for all Americans, just like we did for our seniors. Now, by contrast, Donald Trump has no intention of lowering costs for the middle class. In fact, his economic agenda would actually raise prices. And listen, that's not just my opinion. A survey of top economists by the Financial Times and the University of Chicago found that by an overwhelming 70 to 3% margin, my plan would be better for keeping inflation low. Objective economists have been very clear.
Objective economists? I don't even think there are any objective
economy is investing in American innovation and entrepreneurship. So for the last century, the United States of America has been.
I've never been so disappointed in my country ever.
For almost 4 years, I've been traveling.
Oh shit! I keep doing this wrong.
Never. With world leaders, meeting with foreign leaders, meeting with business people in various countries with which we have partnership. And I will tell you, America remains a beacon for what it means to inspire and invest in innovation. Not only for our ability.
What is, what could be, and what will never be.
But also our ability.
Yeah, baby. These are the people that are going to be running the country. Biggest business on planet Earth. Can you imagine this lady running this?
I believe the source of our success is the ingenuity, the dynamism, and enterprising spirit of the American people. To paraphrase, yes, it is. It's our nature. It's our nature. To paraphrase Warren Buffett, since the founding of our nation, there has been no incubator for unleashing human potential like America.
Guys, I'm going to have to leave. I just realized I was invited to a... I'll finish this, actually.
Let it always
the things I do for you guys. My new team. Are you guys on Gary's team?
America.
Ping me.
Then inspire us.
Let's get 400 people to say we're on Gary's team. Let's go. We're going to build an army, dude. I'm good at this stuff. Let's build an army and fix this shit right now.
So as I travel the country, what I hear time and again from those who own small businesses and those who are is that too often an entrepreneur has a great idea, not too often, that's good, and they have the willingness to take the risk, but they don't have access to the capital that they need to make it real. And as Andrea said, not everybody was handed on a silver platter.
Shoot, I don't need any capital. I just need some inside intel like Nancy Pelosi's got.
I said that.
Turn $1 million into $1 billion.
I actually said that.
Disgusting. These people can't make more money with all this, their knowledge.
We can make it easier. We can make it easier for our small businesses to access capital. On average, it costs about $40,000.
Oh, you like my hoodies?
But currently, the tax deduction for startup is only $5,000.
I love my hoodies, man.
For startup costs, the tax deduction is $5,000. Well, in 2024, it is almost impossible to start a business on $5,000, which is why, as president, I will make the startup deduction 10 times richer, and we will raise it from $5,000 to $50,000.
I'm going to start 10 businesses. Can I start 10 of these? 50 G's? I get 50 G's just to start a business. The amount of fraud's going to be, it'll be staggering.
That want to expand, all of which will help achieve our ambitious.
Why wouldn't you pay somebody $500,000 if they could build a business, employ 50 people or 5 people, give them some metrics, and they make money, and then you give them an award? These people give the award first.
Very achievable. And for anyone here who is a small business owner, works for a small business, or has a small business in your life, you understand what I'm talking about in terms of when we build up our small businesses, what that does to entire communities to lift them up economically, civically, culturally, and in every way.
Oh, lift them up.
Businesses, the point being, help drive our economy. And they create
the motivations.
They create nearly 50% of private sector jobs.
Oh, yes, this will.
And they strengthen our middle class.
Ooh, the storm's rolling in. Hard, actually.
Of the American people and unlock
There's nothing this lady can't say or can say that will get me into the qualifications that she's not a complete idiot. I give her an 82 IQ max.
By contrast,
President of the United States right now has an 80 IQ. Can you imagine that? It'll be absolutely amazing if we end up not getting in a nuclear war with these idiots.
In a major paper as not being good for small businesses. In fact, the title, wait, because I'm bearing the lead right now. One of the leading experts on small businesses published a piece in one of the major newspapers, and the title, I'm going to quote, "Does Donald Trump hate small businesses?" And their answer was yes. Their answer was yes. Because at the same time that Donald Trump was giving a tax cut to big corporations and billionaires, he tried to slash programs for small businesses and raise borrowing costs for them. Instead of making it easier, he actually made it more difficult for them to access capital.
Look at this woman.
And that's not surprising because Donald Trump just does not prioritize small businesses. He does not seem to value, frankly, the essential role they play. But look, when I look at small business owners, I see some of the heroes of our economy. Not only entrepreneurs, but as I said, civic leaders, community leaders, part of the glue.
Everyone should ask her to name 10 business people that's on her team that have success.
Is leading the world in the industries of the future and making sure America, not China.
Fuck America. I mean, we're not the America we used to be, guys. Let's be honest. Not And unless there's a massive change, like a 1776 change, we ain't going to be America either. We're going to have to man up here.
In American history,
we've taken so much for granted.
An intentional effort to invest in our industrial strength, it leads to extraordinary prosperity and security, not only for years, but for generations. Think of Alexander Hamilton having the foresight to build the manufacturing capabilities of our new nation. Think of Lincoln and the Transcontinental Railroad.
Gavin, I agree, dude. She was smoking that night.
And the interstate highway.
I'd love to see that cocktail.
Kennedy committing America to win the space race.
Guys, love all the comments. Keep them in. You can overwhelm me with comments.
From our earliest days.
Yeah, Eric, you're right.
America's economic strength has been tied.
I get $500,000.
To our industrial strength.
People just start forming LLC.
And the same is true today. So I will recommit the nation to global leadership in the sectors that will define the next century.
She's an insult to women.
In biomanufacturing and aerospace, remain dominant in AI and quantum computing, blockchain and other emerging technologies. Expand our lead in clean energy innovation and manufacturing. So the next generation of breakthroughs, from advanced batteries to geothermal to advanced nuclear, are not just invented, but built here in America by American workers. And we will invest in the industries that, for example, made Pittsburgh the Steel City by offering tax credits for expanding good union jobs in steel and iron and manufacturing communities like here in Mon Valley. And across all these industries of the future, we will prioritize investments for strengthening factory towns. This is so important. For strengthening factory towns, retooling existing factories, hiring locally, and working with unions, because no one who grows up in America's greatest industrial or agricultural centers should be abandoned. And understand what that means for real people, people we know, people we care about. We don't have to abandon a strength we've known to achieve a strength that we plan. And here's what else we will do when I'm president. We will double the number of registered apprenticeships by the end of my first term. Because I almost made it a goal of mine. I think I am going to fall short, but trying to visit every IBW local in America, because I'm going to tell you, those apprenticeship programs, those are tough duty, man. And women and everyone. They're tough duty. I mean, talk about the skills that are about engineering and science and math and just the most highly skilled.
Look at her, dude.
In those apprenticeships.
She's high as a kite, man.
And so one of the things we must do, understanding that and understanding the nature
shit's just coming out of her mouth.
System, is let's eliminate degree requirements while increasing skills development.
She's been in office 4 years, hadn't done shit for this country.
With something I can
if I lose you guys, it's because of the storm.
Ensure that we do that for the 500,000 of federal jobs that are within our ability to make it so.
To make it so.
Showing what is possible and then challenging the private sector to make a similar commitment to emphasizing skills and not just degrees.
Xanax, probably so, dude. She's probably taking a cocktail.
And we will reform our tax laws to make it easier for businesses to let workers share in their company's success. And I will challenge the private sector to do more, to lift up workers through equity, profits, and benefits, so more people can share in America's success.
Yeah, I
and
need to make
prosperity.
some. I need to make some of these. Put me in touch with somebody that can do that kind of stuff. ETH 2021. I agree, dude. I have a little Bitcoin right here.
And
A
not
little
only
tiny
must
and a
we
card one
build
digital
the
ventures.
states of
I
the
like it.
future
You'll get the
in
first one free.
America, we must also build them back.
Whoever puts me in touch with a guy, I'll
there's
give
a time
you
for patience, and there's a time for
all the
forgiveness. That's not in Ecclesiastics, but
the swag.
swap script for a minute, Mayor.
Got me open swag.
But the simple truth is, in America, it takes too long and it costs too much to build. Whether it's a new housing development, a new factory, or a new bridge, projects take too long to go from concept to reality. It happens in blue states, it happens in red states, and it's a national problem. And I will tell you this, China is not moving slowly. They're not. And we can't afford to either. If we are to compete, we can't afford to either. As president, if things are not moving quickly, I will demand to know why, and I will act. I will work with Congress, workers and businesses, cities and states, community groups and local leaders to reform permitting, to cut red tape, and get things moving faster. Because, look, as I said, patience may be a virtue, but not when it comes to job creation or America's competitiveness. Many of you know the Empire State Building, you know how long it took to build that? 1 year. The Pentagon, you know how long that took? 16 months. No one can tell me we can't build quickly in our country.
There's so much regulation, lady.
I've got empirical evidence.
Mm-hmm. 50 years
Now
ago,
look,
lady.
my opponent, Donald Trump, well, he makes big promises on manufacturing. Just yesterday, he went out and promised to bring back
Thanks, Justin.
jobs.
I've been through so many of these. We'll be fine.
It should. In 2016, he went out and made that very same promise about the Carrier plant in Indianapolis. You'll remember, Carrier then offshored hundreds of jobs to Mexico under his watch. And it wasn't just there. On Trump's watch, offshoring went up and manufacturing jobs went down across our country and across our economy. All told, almost 200,000 manufacturing jobs were lost during his presidency, starting before the pandemic hit, making Trump one of the biggest losers ever on manufacturing. Donald Trump also talked a big game on our trade deficit with China. But it is far lower under our watch than any year of his administration. While he constantly got played by China, I will never hesitate to take swift and strong measures when China undermines the rules of the road at the expense of our workers, our communities, and our companies, whether it's flooding the market with steel, inferior, or at all, unfairly subsidizing shipbuilding, or hurting our small businesses with counterfeits. Recall, Donald Trump actually shipped advanced semiconductor chips to China, which helps them upgrade their military. Understand the impact of these so-called policies that really are not about a plan for strengthening our prosperity or our security. I will never sell out America to our competitors or adversaries. Never. Never. And I will always make sure we have the strongest economy and the most lethal fighting force anywhere in the world. So at this pivotal moment, we have an extraordinary opportunity to chart a new way forward, one that positions the United States of America and all of us who are blessed to call this home for success and prosperity in the 21st century. You know, there's an old saying that the best way to predict the future is to invent it. Well, that is the story of the Steel City. That is the story of the Steel City. The city that helped build the middle class, birth America's labor movement, empower the rise of American manufacturing, and the city where Alan Newell and Herbert Simon launched the first AI research hub at Carnegie Mellon.
Thanks, Art. I'm a goofball.
Entirely new fields like machine learning, and Carnegie Mellon is now home to the largest university robotics center in America. So the proud heritage of Pittsburgh, I so strongly believe, reveals the character of our nation. A nation that harnesses the ambitions, the dreams, and the aspirations of our people, seizes the opportunities before us because we see them, because we believe in them, and then invents the future. That is what we have always done. And that is what we must now do.
Wow.
And I know we will. I thank you all for inviting me. May God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America.
9 minutes long. Wow. Yo, guys. I just had to do that. One, I'm trying to get a little bit more used to, in fact, let me get rid of there. How do I do this? I'm trying to get rid of, I need to go take an aspirin for this crazy lady. Let me get rid of the president. How do I do that? Wow. 9 minutes. Address the world. I am so embarrassed as an American. Are you embarrassed? Are you embarrassed? I would like someone to tell me in the comments if you're really proud. In fact, if you're a woman, if I was going to go run for office or something, I don't think I would grossly embarrass the male species. Does anybody think I would grossly embarrass the male species? I mean, I might screw up. I might make a mistake. I might not do everything perfect. In fact, I will not do everything perfect. But would you be embarrassed by having me up there? I mean, would you say, oh, this guy's fucking complete and utter idiot? I most certainly have an IQ that's higher than hers. My ethics, well, I don't know her, so I can't really speak to that, but I'd be very surprised if her ethics are where mine are. And maybe we don't need politicians that are ethical. I mean, do you guys think that? Do you think we need politicians that are ethical? Or does it really matter? In fact, do we need politicians that have had any experience whatsoever in running anything? Because since Obama, maybe even George Bush Jr., I can't remember a time we had, I mean, Obama, I don't even think Obama worked in a McDonald's, right? He was just a community builder. I think his girlfriend, wife, or boyfriend, whatever it is, I don't think they have a career building things. Okay. Like I've been working since I was 14 years old. Watching other people who my bosses outwork me, be more efficient, seem to enjoy it. I just didn't know how to work until I did. I had to learn how to work. Anyway, I have millions and millions and millions of dollars invested in the United States. I have 50 years I've been doing business, and 40 years I've been doing business. Went to college, did 4 years, watched my dad die from a heart attack just to pay all the bills. My Italian Sicilian family came over here for freedom to do the migrant thing. They went through the process. They came here. I'm sure some of them came here illegally, but you know what they did? They actually got legal after they were here illegally. I have a lady that works for me for 15 years who came over here illegally. She's awesome. Bobby's son goes to a private school. They have assimilated into this country. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people that come here and have no interest in adding anything. All they're interested in is taking it. This lady right here, she's a taker. She's not a giver. There's 2 types of people on this planet. I was telling Sam this the other day. 38-year-old man told me this. In fact, the guy ended up in a lot of trouble. It really surprised me because he gave me a really good piece of information once. I'm fishing with the guy, and he said, there's 2 types of people in the world. I said, oh, really? Is that true? I'm 20 years older than this cat, right? He said, yeah, there's two types of people. There's givers and there's takers. I've never heard that before, and I got to tell you, it is so right on, okay? I would ask yourself, is Kamala Harris a giver or a taker? Joe Biden, giver, taker. His son, giver, taker. Anyone in his family, giver, taker. Anyone in the Democratic Party, Nancy Pelosi, giver or a taker? And just go through the whole list, okay? And you can get on Trump all you want, okay? But you're going to lose this little argument with me real quick because all these legal bills, Trump's paying for all of them. This would wipe out Kamala. If they were investigating him with their fascist enforcement 3-letter agencies, Kamala would be broke, or the government would have to be paying for it. In fact, the government, there is a chance that I'll play a role in the administration going forward if it's Donald Trump. And I have a couple of good ideas. See, I don't think our country needs 1,000 ideas. They need about 10 great ideas, and then they need to implement them and don't sugarcoat it, don't dilute it, but actually go do it. Vivek wants to dump 75% of all the staff. Absolutely, dude. Not a number under 75. Cut everything out and make people prove that they're worthy and that they're going to have some metrics. This would be so easy. 1 year, Vivek and a team of 30 guys could begin putting in disciplines across every division. Within 1 year, I think the education system could be, you could extract probably $40 billion out of, if not all of it, out of the federal budget and sit it off to the side and figure out what you're going to do with it. But you ain't going to give it to states and schools when they have F. Oh, please, in the comments, if anyone's still even watching, can you please rate the school system that you send your children to or sent them to? Can you rate it A, B, C, D, or F? Just the same grading that schools use. A, B, C, D, F. I haven't met anybody yet that gave it a D or C. So that's a little clue. But if it is failing, if it is an F, why does the federal government continue to use $80 billion of our money and give it to them? So I have an idea on how to fix the education system, save $80 billion, and get the children proper education. And by the way, they're out by 18 to 22. They're out, they're living their life, and they're producing. In fact, might be able to get down to 16. Alexander the Great was 16 when he was conquering the world. We have babied up these kids so much. It's stupid. I wish my children went to school with absolute beast animals. Their game would go up. The game would absolutely be like, I always go work for somebody that's smarter than me. All the people at Node 40, they're a lot smarter than me. I don't know half the shit they're talking about. Most of my partners, clients, associates, business guys, they're smarter than me. Why? As long as their ethics are in, I want other people to be smarter around me. Why would I want to be the smartest guy in the room? Pretty lonely. Go ask Elon. Well, based on what you saw today, you saw a little 10-minute scripted thing from Kamala. You'll probably see 3 of those from Trump in the next day or two. He'll do 3, 4, 5 of those, and he'll do them for 30 minutes. But if you're voting for Kamala and you're on my team, I'd love to know about it, okay? It's cool. I would love to have a debate with you of why you're doing that, because it doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't mean you can't be on my team. However, if you guys continue to not confront what the Democratic Party's doing, how evil they are involved in war. They're involved in the Hollywood scene. They're involved in all this perversion. They're involved in raising taxes, imprisoning innocent people, not regulating the markets correct, picking winners and losers, using their 3-letter agencies to enforce change upon them and put control on independent thinking. They're trying to suppress free speech. They've done nothing to support innovation in the AI or Bitcoin community. It's too late for us. You can't come back and go, hey, we're going to support it. Fucking support it. You need to push it. Okay? This is an opportunity for America to actually to extend the 150-year-old fiat control system if they were smart. Anyway, I'm going to cut out here, guys, and I'm going to go join another room talking about Bitcoin and some governmental issues. It's the kind of stuff I need to do. I just wanted to pop in here because I saw Kamala doing her thing, hoping she gets better. I'd like to see her double her game, get better. Trump will get better too. I beg Kamala Harris, just give us your best, baby. Bring the best. Put your team together. Try to communicate in a way that doesn't sound stupid. I'd keep the hackling down a little bit. Might want to pull in the drug and alcohol use a tad because it's kind of showing. And then good luck on keeping up with a guy that's 30 years older than you, or 20 years older than you. Last thing I'm going to ask, if you're a woman, are you proud that the woman who may win the presidency or steal the presidency of the United States, are you happy with this, is going to be the logo, the brand that shapes the woman for the future? The 21st century is going to have Kamala Harris's name as being the alpha woman, the top of the food chain of femininity, of motherhood, of everything that's matriarchal. I think that's the right way to say the word, the matriarch. Really, really impressive. Really, really impressive. Compare her to the Prime Minister of Italy, Margaret Thatcher. Dude, we're not even in the same zip code, okay? We're on a different fucking planet. She's white trash, black trash, or Asian trash, and she behaves like it. She talks like it. By the way, I grew up white trash. Go out of my way to behave that way. And I've disconnected myself and removed myself from any trash. And from what I can see in Washington, it's just a big freaking garbage can. and no one's cleaning anything up. It just keeps stacking up, man. Sooner or later, we have to address this. 20 plus years since Reagan was here and we went through and did house cleaning. Time to do some house cleaning. So I'm going to turn my vacuum cleaners on, my power washers. I'm going to let the hurricane just run through this thing, get a bunch of daylight. You know, sunshine is the best disinfectant. And let's hope these parasites and vampires wake up one day to the sunlight and it just burns their soul to nothing. And we can actually get on with building this country and then letting this country help build the world back. And we get some stability here. See you guys later. Appreciate you being here. Stay positive and make sure you do something nice for somebody. There's 1,200 people in here. You do something, 1,200 people. Do something nice for somebody today. Oh, by the way, that would include writing a letter to your congressman, president, senator, whoever, and tell them you don't like what's going on, or you don't like a bill, or you want things a certain way. And what do we want? We want freedom. We want censorship. You want to be able to listen to me. You know, I don't say anything here that's stupid. Okay? I'm not exciting you or igniting you, but we need no censorship. And we need platforms like this to be open access. They cannot be run the way Google and Meta run them. Okay, we need these opened up. And just like you have a highway, you do not restrict who can drive on the highway. You have rules on the highway, and sheriffs and policemen, people that are uninvolved in the highway itself, enforce the rules of the highway. Why isn't Google and Facebook treated exactly the same? There is more traffic on Meta and Google than there is on every highway and road in Texas today. Okay, why? By the way, there's more interactions on Meta and Google than there is in the electric grid today in Texas. So why is it that we can have regulation that makes the entire energy complex completely free and open? It's called open access. Yet Google has a platform and Meta, they control 70% of the market. They can charge whatever they want, stop you from competing, stop you from speaking. They take 33 cents on the dollar for everything that comes through here. They take your content and make 33% on it. Wow. Okay. These platforms are not overly utilized. If someone can tell me the capacity on Google or YouTube or whatever is like maxed out, there's no max on this. Now, if the demand went up and you wanted to charge different prices, cool. But you literally have a highway that in order for Gary Cardone to get on that highway, I've got to pay 33 cents on the dollar to Google. Outrageous. Okay. Outrageous monopoly, duopoly, oligopoly. It is a regular. These firms are being blessed by regulators, and how the blessing occurs. What do we see just the other day? Oh, we're going to fine $1 billion to somebody. They're going to put visas under a DOJ antitrust thing right now. They'll pay $2 billion fine, and they'll be allowed to do it forever. And the regulators will block other people from competing with them. It's no different than the Sicilian organized crime thing called the mafia, extortion, blackmail, drugs, and the rest of it. Like almost every company's involved in this that grew up in the 20th century. And the amazing thing is that it is all coming under competition now from a decentralized a market that's just not going to go globalize, right? We were going toward globalization, and then we started blowing up pipelines. Well, that's not going to happen. Now we're going to have a lot of competition. I think that's really good. The question is, can America compete? I sure hope so. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. I have run over, and I'm probably going to get in trouble with my staff for doing this. Have a great day.